What's up guys, my name is Soulless Baby, and now we got another This Week at Bungie to go over. Some actually really cool stuff in this one, so stay tuned for that. First off, they're talking about a raid-along that's coming on Tuesday, February 26th, so if you're in any way interested in that, it's going to be at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Twitch.tv/Bungie is the link for that. They're going to go through the raid. So, to get Gambit Prime for Season of the Drifter, we have been working on some quality of life improvements. We're changing the way the little game is played, based on our own experience as players and a lot of feedback that we've collected since Forsaken launched. Today, senior designer Robbie Stevens is speaking on behalf of the team to take us through the changes you can expect in March. So, Gambit's getting a huge overhaul here. I'm going to skip past what Robbie says and go right into the stuff that's actually changing. Change the third round of Gambit to a Primeval Rush Sudden Death. This will speed up Gambit matches overall and add a change of pace to the final round. Overhaul how we choose the invader spawn location and increase the number of invader spawn points for each map. This should greatly reduce the chances of spawning very near or in direct line of sight of an enemy guardian. Implemented idle protection, which means that players that remain dormant for too long will not receive end of match rewards or infamy points. Love this. I love that. The Triumph Light vs. Light can now be progressed by killing any guardian using a super, not just invaders. This makes attaining the Dredgen title a little less daunting. This is some really cool stuff here. Adjustments to blocker types by deposit tier. Small blockers are now taken goblins with less health than the previous phalanx. Medium blockers are now taken captains with more health than the previous knight. Large blocker is a taken knight with more health than the previous ogre. So they definitely changed up some stuff here for Gambit, and I'm super excited to see how that works. And this is all going to happen when Joker's Wild drops on March 5th. Triple Infamy is starting on the 26th of February and running to the 5th of March, so if you've not got your resets done for your Dredgen title, go ahead and do it then. It'll make your life so much easier, trust me. Back to the sandbox. Alongside the Gambit quality of life changes, our sandbox team will be fine-tuning some weapon archetypes to refresh the gameplay experience in Destiny 2. The following is a quick preview of some changes coming with Destiny Update 2.2.0, with developer commentary from sandbox designer Victor Anderson. Linear fusion rifles. This is a huge one for Gambit. You see those things all the time. Linear fusion rifle aim assist values will receive an adjustment to reduce effectiveness at very long ranges. They have a little subset here. While Queenbreaker has high aim assist values by default, we discovered an issue where it was not honoring aim assist values that applied to other linear fusion rifles of the same archetype. This resulted in Queenbreaker having over double the intended aim assist. Yeah, duh. You could shoot him in the foot and it would be a headshot. Linear fusion rifles will receive a 10% damage increase in PvE to compensate for the above changes. This is great. I love it. I hated Queenbreaker. It was a little bit ridiculous. Shotguns. In Season of the Drifter, we're making a few changes to rapid-fire shotguns and the full auto perk. We're doing this for a few reasons, one of them being the full auto perk feels far too important to shotguns in PvE. This perk effectively doubles the damage output of any shotgun due to the rate of fire increase. We believe it is important to have useful perks on your weapons. The efficacy of this was so impactful that rapid-fire shotguns became the only shotguns worth considering in PvE. When the following changes release in Season of the Drifter, we hope you might be inspired to equip an aggressive shotgun or maybe even a slug shotgun for a spin in a PvE activity. This is so cool. I love this. Shotguns will receive a damage multiplier in PvE activities, effectively doubling their damage. Legend of Acreus is an exception to this. Full auto rate of fire bonus for shotguns is now 10%, down from 100%. Massive difference there. In addition, it no longer increases the shotgun pellet spread. That's actually a little bit of a buff, not the full auto part, obviously. Default rate of fire values for shotguns have also shifted. Aggressives are now 55 RPM, up from 45. Precisions are now 70, up from 55. Lightweights are 80, they were erroneously stated to be 90 previously. Rapid fire 140 RPM now, down from 200. They were previously natively 100, but due to the intrinsic full auto, actually had 200 RPM. Also reduces base damage for shotguns across the board to align with their new stats of fire on a per sub-archetype basis, and more reserves for shotguns were reevaluated due to the increased efficiency of having more damage per shot. We also took the opportunity to slightly adjust shotguns in the Crucible. Cool. While shotguns will remain effective in the Crucible, we have toned down the range at which shotguns could secure a one-shot kill. Thank you. I was so over shotguns, got so stale after a while. Additionally, the team has some information regarding balance changes for the One-Eyed Mask exotic, which will release with update 2.2.0. So this is what's happening to the mask here. The duration of the Mark of Vengeance has been reduced from 15 seconds to 8 seconds. The way players refill health after a successful kill has changed. Before, it restored all of your health and the overshield refilled over time. Now the health refills over time alongside the overshield. This should give a leg up when encountering situations where multiple people are fighting one person with the One-Eyed Mask equipped. Vengeance will no longer trigger for players in Super. Yes, this was making Supers far too potent. Yes, it was. Very much so. A new season means a new reality in combat. Keep up the chatter and we'll keep curating the sandbox so that Destiny adapts to the way you play. This is by far the best update that I've seen come out of Destiny in a long time, and I know I'm jumping the gun by saying that because we don't have it yet, but just the information here makes me super excited for the meta and the sandbox changes. I really hope they nerf shotguns to the point where they need to be nerfed at. I think Gambit might actually be a little bit fun now. We'll have to see. Shorter matches, that would make me very happy, especially anybody that doesn't have the breakneck yet. Guys, leave me a comment underneath this video about how you feel about all these changes. Like this video, it really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel for future Destiny content. And with that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.